It's year 9 officially, and we felt there was only one way to kick off year 9. And
Yes.
we got to go back to the boys who we thought we had talked about fairly recently, which I guess we had. We did a Matt's version of the first
Oh,
Slipknot
that's
record,
true.
but we had not talked about before then. We hadn't done a record since I believe 2021 when we covered All Hope Is Gone. So now here we are talking about Slipknot's album from it came out October 21st, 2014. Point 5, The Gray Chapter.
Roach Coach.
Podcast.
Hot all day, every day.
Wow.
Released on Roadrunner Records, Matt.
That's right.
This was and is the 5th studio album by Slipknot, and it was their first album in 6 years.
Wow.
And it was the first not to feature original founding members, bassist Paul Gray and drummer Joey Jordison. And this was due to the death of Gray in 2010. The album title is a reference to his surname. And Jordison was fired from the band in late 2013.
Crazy.
So this is like big shakeup record in a whole bunch of ways. Matt, do you have any history? 2014, we know each other at this point.
We do.
Koach hasn't started yet, though. Do you have any memories of this record or at all? Or was it in your orbit?
Great cue. The Devil and I want to say I saw Slipknot perform that on Kimmel.
One of the late night shows.
I think it was either Kimmel or we'll find out later. But I know that I saw that. Slipknot was, and I knew the death of Paul Gray, and I knew the Joey Jordison ordeal. I wasn't deep into it, but Slipknot has always been, because they're such a colossally big band, on my periphery. So that's kind of how I knew it. But this was never purchased and never listened to cover. 2014, taking a look at a list of albums here. What was I into? Man, I don't know. I think I was improvising so much that music took a back seat, and it would just be like a song would come up, and I just kind of glommed onto that because I'm taking a look at this, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know any of these albums from 2014. These are not, I mean, maybe singles, Future Islands, Black Messiah, D'Angelo. I'm not a lot of 2014 in my collection to this day.
Interesting, Matt. I'm looking at my 2014, and of course, my number one, Death from Above, 1979, Physical World. That was kind of all-encompassing for me. Skimming my list, Duck Sauce Quack, Afghan Wigs Due to the Beast, Mastodon, Once More Around the Sun, Run the Jewels 2.
2 was a big one for me.
Let's see. Oh, I had this album. Ooh, here we go. This album was number 14 on my list. In between We Are Scientists, TV en Francais, don't remember anything about that record, and DJ Quick's The Midnight Life. And this was actually, wow, Spoons, They Want My Soul at 16, which is funny because I definitely have listened to that more. What did I say? I have not pre-read this. Let's see. I said, my expectations were low to non-existent for this album. Paul Gray dies. They kick Joey Jordison out of the band. The last record was just okay. Was this album even going to exist at all? I should have realized that nothing gets a metal band invested like the death of a bandmate, like Back in Black and Down 3.5 is All Righteous Fury and Chewed Anger, and they have Custer, which is an immediate instant classic. I read they're closing their shows with it now. Okay. Pretty normal review. I think I'm taken aback by my writing there because I feel like so much of my old writing that I pull up reads very wild 20-something boy, and I realized I wrote that in my 30s, so I was a little more level-headed, little calmer. That's somebody with a full-time job.
Yeah. That definitely is like, yeah. Black, and it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah. All right.
That's about it.
That's all you need.
The long and the short of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now I'm going to do some laundry. Yeah. So, I had this record, bought it day of release. I'm pretty sure I got it from Best Buy. I have a physical copy here in front of me. Digipack, bonus disc. And inside we have, was interesting, we have the band photo here, which feels very, I don't know, this is kind of like, it's like they're all in masks, So on the one hand, it's kind of wild, but on the other hand, it's almost seems sort of proper, like a family photo. We're united, and we're going to take this seriously in a different kind of way. We're still Slipknot. We still have the masks,
Right.
but we're a little bit more serious because of everything. I'm sure you've heard. That's kind of the vibe here. I'm sure you've
Yeah,
heard.
I mean, when you tie the press conference around Paul's death to this album,
Mhm.
it's fucking sad.
Mhm.
Those guys were and still are
Right.
rocked by his loss.
And we'll go through a lot of that because I did a little bit. I had to do a little bit more research on this one just because I knew there was a lot more to it. I did read the Rolling Stone interview that they did in the lead up to this record, which really does go in on the level of emotional anguish that they were dealing with in regards to this. The other thing to come out of this also is that this is the first record without Paul and Joey, and Paul and Joey, from what I can tell, were big parts of the songwriting previously.
Hmm.
And so when you take these two guys out, there's definitely going to be a shift in sound, undoubtedly. I mean, obviously I was a fan at the time. It was interesting to revisit. This thing is a monster. It is the longest Slipknot album. We'll get to that. 5 singles. Not all of them have music videos, but you know my ass watched every single one. And so I will have plenty to say about all of those. Some other fun little bits here. So, despite this long break between albums coming out, they did not start writing it until late 2013. So, once they started writing, this thing came quick. Now, this is an interesting detail I found from the Wikipedia. A new bassist and drummer were added to the lineup during live shows. Corey Taylor told Loudwire that 2 similar masks were created for their appearances in music videos and stage performances, as when the new members were given the opportunity to make their own masks, the results were, according to Taylor, quote, kind of cartoony and did not fit the mindset of Slipknot. I love this detail. They bring the new guys on, and they're like, all right, you know us, masks, go in, make your own masks. They bring the masks in and they're like, oh no, our
No,
mask.
no. You're
Yeah.
gonna look a little bit.
I don't know if you've seen our masks, but your masks are bad.
Look, Deranged Clown, that's as cartoony as it gets. You have a unicorn head, so I'm gonna have to say that's a no.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to give you Burnt Pig Man. Are you
Yeah.
okay with that?
I think, you know what I think what it is that knowing what we know about masked bands, okay, and what you do with your mask or don't do with your mask. And I think what Slipknot has cultivated to this point is a level of horror show that's not quite Guar. Because if you get into Guar land, then it's
Right.
are you like in a trauma thing? And that's not what Slipknot's going for. Slipknot's more serious than that. But Slipknot also have a budget at this point. So I mean, I would like to see what was considered too cartoony. I'd love to see it, but I don't know if that exists out there. I did not see it in my research. Who's in the band, man? I'm sure you're dying to know.
Oh, I did want to say that it did look like at the end of the day, for both Jay and Alessandro, they were just like, how's a weird version of Scarecrow sound like to you? You good? Good with weird Scarecrow? Great. That's better than that bullshit mask you brought.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we have is number 8, Corey Taylor, lead vocals, bass on Goodbye, and it says tuba on Flea Circus, but citation needed. Give me
So
that
Co-
citation.
Corey's rocking that 2-piece mask
Mhm.
on this one, the kind of
Oh,
the
yeah.
gray top and
It's
the
actually Matt. It's actually like a 4-piece mask because when you watch the music video at one point, he rips off the mask to reveal another mask under the mask.
brilliant
Dual
We're-
masks.
dual masks. Powerful.
There you go. Mick Thompson, number 7 on guitars.
Kind of just a blackened version of his traditional mask.
Mhm.
Not real big step ups.
Listen, as we've said before, Mick Thompson's whole vibe is don't talk to him. That's always been, if there's any member of Slipknot that I see walking down a hallway, I would not approach. Wouldn't approach. He looks like he could rip all my arms and legs off. Number 6, Sean Clown Crahan. Percussion, backing vocals, additional drums on Goodbye, and if Rain Is What You Want, intro vocals on XIX and Custer, lead vocals on Be Prepared for Hell.
His mask, a little bit more traditional, got the clown hair back, less of the, kind of the metallic weird
I want to
clown.
say I'm a fan of this clown mask in this cycle.
This is
especially the color
to
of the
me,
hair.
this is like the scariest version.
Yeah. Well, he amped up. It's like he took the wig in to whoever his wig person is, and they made it like really red. And he was like, "You got anything redder than red?" And they were like, "Redder than red?" He's, "That's what I want." And that's what they gave him. And I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's fucking creepy as hell.
But number 5, Craig 133 Jones on samples and keyboards.
You'll never guess, but his mask is an impenetrable helmet of pins.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Nope.
Number 4, Jim Root, guitars and bass.
Remove the zipper on the mask. The beard's growing through that, but pretty much the classic diamond eyes mask.
Yeah, perfect work. And number 3, Chris Fain, percussion backing vocals.
Got the classic dick nose that I am sure he jerked off a million times on tour.
Absolutely. Number 0, Sid Wilson on turntables.
One of my favorite Sid masks, kind of reminds me of the bad guy robots from the movie The Black Hole.
Okay.
Big eyes. He painted the mouth. Looks like a fighter pilot helmet meets epaulets. It's very Sid. It's fun. I like
Sid.
it.
It's great. And then they just list them here. Alessandro V-Mad Venturella on bass.
Yep, sackcloth. Scarecrow mask with pentagram on head.
Yep, and Jay Weinberg on drums.
More plasticky looking scarecrow mask with pentagram on hood.
Yes,
on head.
Absolutely. Additional personnel, Donnie Steele, who was
maskless.
He was one of the original guitarists in Slipknot. He played on the demo Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat, and he left and was replaced. He came back and played bass for the record, but then decided he ultimately wanted to start a family with his wife and did not want to rejoin Slipknot, but he does play bass on the record. Production, Greg Feidelman on production, with Joe Barisi mixing and Vlado Meller mastering. Greg Feidelman, a frequent collaborator of Rick Rubin. Greg did work on Volume 3, so they knew him. He was an engineer mixer for the record. Other records he's worked on. He also produced the follow-up. He also produced We Are Not Your Kind. He also did production on, High on Fire's Snakes for the Divine. He was an engineer on 21 by Adele. He was the producer, engineer, and mixer on Lulu, Metallica, and Lou Reed. He was an engineer on Death Magnetic. Anything else in here? He was, he produced Life of Agony's 2004 album Broken Valley. Oh, he produced The Feeding, American Head Charge from 2004, which we've done on this show. And he was in the room engineering on Jets Get Born.
Well, I mean, bona fide.
Absolutely. He was in there. He's, "Are you going to be my girl?" He's, "Good question. Good cue.
Am I going to be going to the bank to cash out royalties for this song?"
Hopefully. Liner notes do have all the lyrics very clear. No question about the lyrics here because they are so clear in these liner notes. We get individual portraits of everybody in the band looking very artistic and sometimes a little bit creepy. And I thought it looked great. Good packaging all together. Like I said, I've had this record for 11 years, and this Digipack holding together strong. Great work all around. And I think, Matt, we need to just dive in.
I think it's just time.
That's right, Matt. 9 years deep, baby. Let's dive in. To kick it all off, we have the song XIX.
Or is it 19? I do have to ask. Do they call it 19 or do they call it XIX?
Let's see. There's nothing that indicates how anyone pronounces this thing.
So I guess it's dealer's choice. XIX right. It is.
There it is.
I love any album that starts like I don't know if I've pressed play.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. All right.
So yeah, vocals do initially kick in.
There it is.
Against the floor. Walk with me. Walk with me.
All right.
All right.
This
so
album might be a bummer. Is
It
the feeling I'm getting?
Here's the thing. It definitely has bummer vibes, and I can say that re-listening to it for the show, I can see this record. This record is basically a band knowing what it wants to do, which is pay tribute to a friend that has gone away, someone who is so crucial to their lives and to the band itself. But also they want to bring the heat, but they are also in mourning, and they're trying to do both. And a thing that I saw in a couple of reviews was people referred to Corey Taylor's lyrics on a lot of this album as clumsy. And I definitely thought on a couple of my first listens that I was like, yeah, this doesn't have the same smoothness. But I'm also thinking, hey, try to make a killer fucking record without one of your key collaborators who isn't just gone, but they're dead. And you try to not be clumsy. You try to not be fumbling over and trying to find, we're all trying to find the words, Matt.
Always
Trying to find the words. And Corey Taylor's here. I'm going to try to find the words 16 times. That's a tall order. It's a tall order. And now I did find.
No, I will point at our production friend and say, hey guys, what? 12, right? Why don't we just do 12?
You know what? I think you get in there and you're just like, one more? We're paying tribute to our friend. One more? And then you get it done, and then you're like, how about two more and a bonus disc?
Jesus.
How about some hidden tracks in the bonus disc? He would have loved it. He would have fucking loved it. I did find over on the website for Maniacs, genius.com, they did have some quotes from the band members. Jim Root said that this is a song that Clown wrote. It's basically a song that he had in his head from when we were at Paul's funeral. And it's kind of like the music that was running through his head when we were carrying Paul in his casket, because the band were all his pallbearers. So he got all that feeling out in that tune, and then Corey added vocals to it. And it's a pretty cool little piece. It's very ambient. Now, Corey Taylor said this. This is a real answered, not answered. It's pronounced XX, but it's supposed to represent a couple of different things. It's the 19th year of the band's existence, and it's also a metaphor for stage 2, because track 1 on the Iowa album was 515, and so this is XIX. So in Roman numerals, it's almost like a double of that. So it represents the new start and seeing where the road leads to. Lyrically, it's really about getting back up on your feet after getting smashed in the mouth, basically. It's just kind of the start of, what would become to me the second stage of this band's career. I feel like he both answered and answered nothing for me with that. I both think I got it, and then he was like, it's pronounced XX, but it is also XIX. Also, you remember 515? And I'm like, do I need a pen?
But it also is the 19th year of the band, so it's also 19.
It's 19.
But if you call it that, you don't understand the duality and the triality of XX, XIX, 19.
Yes. Yeah. Now, I will say this song feels like it's going to build up to a big moment, and it doesn't. It just goes and then slams in a way that I think is supposed to indicate the slamming shut of a coffin. Then I found on YouTube.com the music.
I've heard of this site. One of my favorites. Truly.
One of your
probably
favorites.
number one.
Number one? This one?
If it's a new number one, if I've ever said there was a number one before.
You've never said what your number one is, Matt. You've never said. So your number one's YouTube. Okay.
Yep.
Is your number
YouTube.com.
YouTube.com
in particular.
Okay. Is your number 2 still Yahoo News?
Yes.
Okay.
And
perfect.
then 3 is Axe Jeeves. Yeah.
Absolutely. So when I found the music video, I was like, I didn't even know there was a music video. I was like, okay. And what you have is this coffin that's in a field next to a tree. And then you have a hearse drive up. And then you see in the hearse are some people. And I'm like, the band? No, not the band. It's women, but they're like all veiled. And I was like, oh, interesting. So they get out of the hearse, And then the wind blows to reveal that these women do not have a lot on. And I was like, man, Paul would have loved that. Just send in a couple scantily clad hotties. You got to do it. It really just let me know, listen, Slipknot's in mourning, but they still got it, baby.
Hey, baby, they would fuck some Benny Gesserit. You know they would.
They got it. And so, yeah, and then these women then proceed to open the coffin up and writhe their naked bodies around the coffin, eventually taking it to the water, setting it on fire, and pushing it into the water. And I was like, honestly, I watched this video and I was like, Slipknot's back as far as I'm concerned. The moment that the wind, it was like, was it a wind machine? Was it a perfectly timed nature just knowing to reveal that this woman's just got like a thong on and nothing else? Because I was like, what's under the veil? Like, I remember thinking it as I watched the video, and then the wind just opened and was like, it's a hottie.
This is straight hottie.
It's straight hottie. So well done. Strong start. Then we go into track 2, Sarcastrophe. Now, this is a moody intro as well, all right? We're going to build up once again. We're taking our time in this record, longest Slipknot record of all time. So the riff does not actually come in. We get some hand drums early on. We get some guitars around 40 seconds. The riff itself at 1 minute.
All right, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
Little bit.
All right.
So the boys are back.
Yeah, the Knot is doing not shit on this hard.
They are. I wrote in my notes, scratching and stomping and yelling. I quoted the lyric, "We are kill gods." And it reminded me in a weird way of when U2 won the Grammy for Album of the Year. And I don't remember what year it was. Maybe it was 2005. I don't know. But they went up on stage and they said, we're applying for the job of best band in the world. And which is a very funny thing for U2 to say, whatever your thoughts on U2. But when I heard this and I thought about Slipknot being gone, a lot of the other messages that I find in this album, this is Slipknot and they are applying for the job of Ripper Gods. They're like, hey, remember us? We're the dudes. We're those guys.
This is what we do.
This is what we do. And honestly, we may be the best in the biz. Just putting it out there. And I was really feeling it. And things that I noticed on this record overall, I'm just going to touch on it right now. This is such a scratch-heavy record. There is so much scratching on this record. I don't know if it's just that my headphone game has advanced over the years or something, but I could really hear the scratching and the can work. The barrel work by One Clown is all over this record. You can really hear it. And I was like, it's really great. But then I was thinking about it. I've been a day one barrel guy. All right. I have always been very strong, big proponent, big fan of Clown's barrel work. And this, honestly, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but overall, this album may be his best barrel work.
Do you you notice it really clearly in this one? Because like the part that we got to listen to together, like they almost drop everything to a low rumble, and then you just hear like that clang, just that hard hit on it, and it's Clown is pissed. Clown's having a fucking time here.
Yeah, he is. I say there was never a worse time to be a barrel than 2014.
Question for you on this particular song, which I very much enjoy, so please don't think this is me. Right. Do you feel they don't let this song breathe compared to some of the other stuff that I would say from the earlier albums? They might have given this, like if this is People Equal Shit Part 2, they're like, well, what if we don't have that part that lets us breathe for a second and we just push through it all?
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
kind of like clunkier transitions because it's almost like Rage. It's just, I don't
yes.
know.
Yes, that is an overarching feeling on this. This is honestly, as much as if you go back and read those interviews they were doing around Iowa, where they're like, we were barely a band and we were ripping each other apart. It's one of those things where it's like they thought they knew what rock bottom was, and then they felt the true loss of
Yeah.
losing a band member, and then it's, oh shit, now I'm seeing the true feelings, and I don't know, because it is reverberates like it's true. It feels, yeah, not to say they weren't authentic on
No,
Iowa, but
no,
it's,
but
yeah,
like
but
here's the thing about the producer too. Ross is not going to let you leave without a song. And if you don't have a song, then you're just going to give me your guts spilling out on the floor. And
Right.
I'll take both, but I take one or the other, but I prefer both.
Mhm.
Is kind of Ross's deal. This feels, if there's a scale, Slipknot's fingers on their side. Look, man, just make sure that we fucking stay on budget and stay on task, and we'll do the rest.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, to credit where, I mean, like I said, once you know that this record was recorded at the end of 2013 into 2014, and then was put out well before the end of 2014. I mean, these were guys like eyes on the prize, get this thing done. So,
That this producers, I work with seasoned bands.
mhm.
I know how to shut up, get the fuck out of the way, and let this happen.
Absolutely. Now, I want to say, I know a lot of our listeners are going, guys, songmeanings.com must be going buck wild. Honestly, not too many comments. And I think what it was is that anytime anybody said anything,
Yep.
some motherfucker rolled in and was like, actually, or how dare you? Because the big thing was that people would go in, and this is what's happened, is that you have, as we know, you have every Korn album before Head leaves. Then after Head leaves, I think every song on
It's about
Untitled's
Head.
about Head. Deftones, all the way up to Chi dying. I think every song's about Chi dying.
Or every song
yeah.
after Shay dies. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
dies.
yeah,
Sorry, Steve.
yeah. And so that's just this inherent problem. So with this now, what you have is is that the band comes out and basically every song is about Paul,
Right.
but then you have this contingent of people being like, oh, also it's all about Joey too.
Right.
Yes. And then somebody comes in and goes, it's not about Joey. Shut the fuck up. And that's honestly, that was no good. I read too many of those and I was like, all right, that's basically what was happening on songmeanings.com. So I had to go over to my favorite website, sonichits.com,
Sonic Hits.
which, as you and other people have pointed out, Matt, is just pulling comments from youtube.com, and I don't care. I know that's your favorite website, but sonichits.com is easily in my top 5. Here's a great comment. It's from Simon N8312. They said, 1, nice song. 2, nice album. 3, nice drums. 4, nice guitar. 5, nice melody. Great comment. I love it a lot. Alan Hayes 694 responded to it and said, Simon and most heavy metal bands are just trying their hardest to go the extreme. They've forgotten that they actually have to write a song. And that's what separates the wheat from the chaff. Because it doesn't take much to be a one-trick pony or to become an accidental parody. Slipknot know how to balance melody with abrasive aggression in a way that complements the content of the lyricism contained within the song. You do not have to be at 1,000 decibels and 900 BPM throughout your entire album. In fact, it kind of rates itself redundant. It no longer means anything. You have to know when to go there, then the impact will be greater. Great comment. Thanks, Alan. But Zippy9153 responded to both and said, 6 nice lyrics, 6 nice vocals, 6 nice riffs.
There he is.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's the comment I'm looking for. Now, Genius.com, in a rare moment of sanity, does have quotes from Corey Taylor talking about what every single song means, which I found to be very helpful. He said, this song is the war cry. To me, I hear the song and I see us. And not to be weird, but charging down the hill towards the doubters, the naysayers, the people who might have thought that this band was down and out. It's us just saying, nope. Just when you thought you had us figured out, we threw you for another loop. So here we come again, and you better prepare yourselves. The lyric, "We are kill gods," means that we destroy everything in our path that tries to bring us down, and this band is somewhat notorious for rewriting its history. We kill the images behind us and recreate them going forward. I love this quote for a lot of reasons. The main one being that it's both Corey Taylor smelling his own farts, and also he's kind of right.
Hey.
Is
Sometimes farts do relieve pressure.
Exactly. I read it and I was like, man, he's really high on his own supply, but I've also heard the song. So I mean,
Right.
you read it in a vacuum, you might be like, what's this guy's fucking problem? And then you hear it and he's like, we are the kill gods, stomp, 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 scratch, scratch, scratch. And then that clang comes in. And it's another thing. Listen, every band's got drummers with some drumsticks, but only Slipknot's got a guy with a fucking bat.
Not on one song.
Not on one song either.
Ready for all of them.
That's right.
Ready to hit it at a moment's notice.
Absolutely. All right.
All
Matt.
right.
Yep, it's AOV.
I mean, he has that gear.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why not use it?
Absolutely.
I didn't need it, I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was into... I feel this song is a little... I'm sure that it's very sad, but the lyrics are not as strongest.
Sure. No, like I said, this is I would say almost across the board. It's the lyrical clumsiness, I think, is an accurate take. There's just we're trying things, we're going there. There is an active sense that I do not want to repeat myself here.
Mm-hmm.
Like tonally, sound wise, I think there's going to hear some stuff in here that's going to sound familiar, but lyrically, I'm in a different zone, and I'm going to be trying things and trying to put things together. That being said, like calling it AOV, smart move, because what it actually stands for is, once again, incredibly clunky. The what is it? Approaching original violence. I don't know.
How did I know that the V was violence? It was like, of course it is.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where, once again, where I'm like, I see where you're going for. I don't know if you quite get there, but for the most part, it still works. This song to me was like thrash plus hair metal coming together, basically making it work. By the time that the smooth boy vocals come in, I'm already way bought in that I'm not gonna leave. And through that whole beginning part, I'm just like, they didn't make a music video to this song. This wasn't a single, but I'm like, if they did, I feel like it would be, I just have that image of Corey Taylor said, of everybody coming down the hill, and just every guy that he comes across, he just keeps doing the backbreaker to, just across his knee, across his knee, across his knee. Just incredible. Yeah. And so, and then, basically then once they're dead under him, then he like stands on their neck and does that smooth boy chorus. What are you going to do? I've already destroyed you anyway. So, yeah, it's funny is to say, like, I wrote in my notes, immediate ripper, we got the line there. I think I'm going to kill myself or fuck myself or tell myself about the only thing that matters now. Really running through it there. And yeah, I'm bought in. And yet at the same time, I'm like, I don't even know if I'd say it's like a top 20 Slipknot song.
No. Because
Mm-hmm. But I'm not mad at it either.
No way. Like but it's kind of a conversation that we had before we started recording, where it's just one's going to, because they have such other work that transcends it, it just kind of falls into that middle tier, which is weird, because for other bands, this would be like a top tier song for them.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Five Finger Death Punches. I wish.
Could we borrow AOV?
Please. SonicHits.com. We have this comment from Ram98ish. They said, I seriously don't know how people choose favorites when it comes to Slipknot. Everything made by them is just a masterpiece. Okay. Les Bako 1747 says, I felt the same way with Slayer growing up, so I'm glad that at 50 I have two incredible bands to listen to. I love that.
That is a powerful take.
Powerful take.
I'm glad at 50 I have two bands I can listen to.
2 bands at 50 years old. They're like, I like 2 bands.
I like Slayer, and that's taking me to 50.
and then
And now I'm 50, and thank God I got Slipknot. I got something to
Slipknot.
mix it up.
I like to mix
I've-
things up a little
Every
bit.
morning, waking up to Rain and Blood.
You can't. You got to mix it up, Matt. Sometimes you got to wake up to Psychosocial. You know, you
Yep.
just got to mix it up. So I really enjoyed that. Corey Taylor said in this interview with Kerrang! Magazine, he said AOV stands for Approaching Original Violence. The album as a whole is the story of the last 4 years for this band. So AOV is basically about looking at each other and dealing with a lot of the issues that we've had to try to bury those hatchets so we can get back up on our feet. Because you can't stand together until you figure out what the issue is. You have to get on the same page to be able to move forward. It's just really about finding a way to stand on that common ground and not only stand on it, but take that territory back and guard it as your own. Once again, let's use this imagery here. Battlefield, circling the wagons. We've got to get together.
The camp has to stay safe.
And honestly, when you've got as many guys in Slipknot as you have, yeah, one thing off, it all falls apart. It's not going to work. And then this comment here, this felt like a song meanings comment that had somehow made it over to Genius, in which the person said, in my previous comment, I made a mistake. I want to point it out as it's easy to overlook. In verse 3, it's pissed on instead of piss on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here, not all heroes wear capes.
No, that's true. They don't. Right, Matt.
All right, big single.
Big single. It's The Devil and I.
All right. The Devil and I. Never been my favorite Slipknot song by a lot. Very much seems to be, to me, it always struck me much more in the lines of an ode to Metallica than it felt like a Slipknot song.
Interesting.
Like more heavily like, this is us at our most Metallica. You know,
I think you're onto something there, because I wrote in my notes that I thought it's not bad as a Slipknot song, but I could see it as another band that's more that's farther out, that a band that had never been considered nu metal at any point. I could see like this could definitely play for them. Once again, Five Finger Death Punch, please. They would kill for something like this. I gotta say, I liked the pounding drums. I love the kicks. I felt that the smooth chorus mixed with the yell scream, I liked it better here than on AOV. And, you know, I mean, overall, I think whatever my feelings were about the song in 2014, I feel like I like it a little bit more now. And especially going into like the meaning and everything like that, it plays. Do I think it needs to be 5 minutes and 5 minutes and 42 seconds long?
Yeah.
I think no. I think you could, I mean, the radio edit's 4:11 and blessings onto that. That may really be the way to go. Now, I have a couple interesting things online. First, we have Corey Taylor. This is what Corey Taylor had to say. He said, The Devil and I is one of the, I'd say, 3 songs that really represent the war inside us individually, dealing with the depression that came after losing Paul, dealing with the anger, the guilt, just trying to get our hands around the grief process, basically, and realizing that we have to let ourselves feel these feelings before we can move forward. And The Devil and I represents looking at that selfishness in the mirror and saying, okay, I have to let myself feel this before I can go any further. I read this and I go, interesting. Didn't know that Point 5, the great chapter, was Slipknot's therapy album, but apparently so. They're really, really getting it out. It's funny is that I feel like a lot of bands will say we were going through stuff, but they keep it vague. And I can say that Corey Taylor and all in this Kerrang! Interview gave very forthcoming things. Was very open about his emotions, and
pretty
I'd say
transparent.
Pretty transparent. And I would say also in the Rolling Stone interview, Clown is very open about how emotionally bereft he was, the amount of crying they did making this record. And I feel like sometimes we hear people say, oh, I heard this song and I burst into tears. I really felt reading all the press for this, I believed it more than I think I normally do. You know, when people say, I heard this song and it brought a tear to my eye, like I really felt like these guys were crying
wrung out.
They're crying under the masks 100%. Now, we know what Corey says this song is about. But I found a comment on songmeanings.com that I thought you'd enjoy, Matt.
Awesome.
It's from Dubious Doobies.
Great name.
Great name. Top tier song meanings name, if I say so myself. This was posted on January 17th, 2015. I think this is like 7 o'clock in the evening. This is my interpretation, not the meaning of the song as written. Strong start. Strong start.
Bold.
I think this song fits so perfectly with the dynamic of relationships nowadays. Women feel slighted by something and take it out on their man before wishing to reconcile it. As a man, you learn to just roll with the punches, but sometimes after traveling the same road of maybe defending yourself a bit before out of necessity, just accepting the role of the flawed one, you realize enough is enough and make the person abandon their post. Sir, Dubious Doobies. It sounds to me like you were going through it and you happened to hear The Devil and I and went, same.
Gives me real Boss Baby vibes.
Real, yeah. I like even when he says that, this is my interpretation, not the meaning of the song is written. It's almost like he heard Corey's thing and was like, yeah.
Well, this is what it means for me.
This is what it means. Listen, authorship, once author intent, authorial intent, once it leaves the bay and heads out
Correct.
into our hands, no longer belongs to you. So maybe it is about you dealing with the loss of your friend and dealing with what it means to you as a person. But once it's out there, it's about these ladies and how they're dragging me down.
Chicks, man.
Anyway, there's a music video for this song. I feel like the Wikipedia's breakdown is pretty on point. The band commits suicide in various ways, such as Corey Taylor setting a bomb off while he sits at a table, Mick Thompson ripping his face apart, Sid Wilson eating himself, Craig Jones being locked in an elevator with an attack dog, Chris Fane pecked to death by crows, Jim Root blowing himself up with dynamite, losing his beard in the process, and Sean Crahan lighting himself on fire and hanging himself at the exact same time.
Great stuff.
Listen, self-harm, no good. You need help, get the help you need. But watching Clown through the whole video, you're watching all of the members of Slipknot kill themselves in various ways. And I'm like, what's Clown gonna do? What's he gonna do? And he's the last one. And I'm like, oh, he's gonna hang himself. And as he's hanging himself, he reaches over and sets himself on fire. And I was like, classic Clown. What up?
Classic. What a clown.
Classic. Everyone else gets one kill and Clown's I'm dying.
Double kill.
Double kill, baby. Yeah, the video also does feature the band roaming throughout an asylum. There are patients in wheelchairs.
Love that.
Yes, it was very good. Oh, the band also, the two members of the band, they're in the wheelchairs. Sorry. So you see them roaming around. They are eventually cornered by the rest of the band, who proceed to stab them. This stabbing could resemble the two new members being baptized into Slipknot. And then at the very end of the video, they appear playing with the band at the song's last chorus, both wearing uniforms and disguised in equal reveals. So I do enjoy that. That is the move there. That's we're
just gonna double kill you.
We're gonna double kill you too. We're gonna haze you in with stabs, and then you get to play it at the end. Honestly, pretty good video. The explosion effects, very good. Once again, at this point, it's Slipknot Inc., baby. Listen. You think Clown, who directs all these, is going to shortchange himself? Absolutely not.
Get the fuck out of here.
Absolutely not. No way. Spare no expense. All right. Up next, we have another single. It's Killpop.
I don't know, man. This song, I don't know.
I knew you were going to be kind of down on this one, Matt. And honestly, it's not my favorite either. Once again, it's a moody rocker. Sounds like a bad relationship song. I honestly thought it was good, even pretty good. Never great. Once again, it's in a vein of Slipknot. Like, it ramps up in this way that I think is, oh, here we go. Doo-doo, doo-doo. But not quite. But it has all these other elements that I do enjoy. And it's got very great bat work. This whole album, such good bat work. Such good barrel work. But yeah, just pretty good. Now, songmeanings.com, David GM, I believe that means he is a general manager,
Having a good morning.
Or David Good Morning. I like that even better, Matt. Yes. David Good Morning. Well, of course, he posted this on October 17th, 2017 at 8:39 in the morning.
David, good morning.
David Good Morning. Corey said it's about his relationship with the music industry. And quote, you know, what's funny is over the last few weeks, I've really gotten everyone's interpretation of what that song means to them. And it's nowhere near what I wrote about, he said. So it's kind of interesting to hear people's interpretations of what I'm singing about. And I'll be honest with you, the song is my reflection on my relationship with music. That's who the she is. And it's not just music, but the music industry in general. So there's a love-hate relationship there that really kind of comes into view. And then they have a link to the whole Blabbermouth interview in regards to this song. Then we have a comment from Long Forgotten, posted on June 9th, 2015 at 4:44 in the morning.
Been up.
Definitely been up.
Been up.
Even with the previous comment of what Corey said, I have a different view.
Of course you do.
And they don't say what it is. They don't say what it is. They just keep it to themselves.
You fucking coward.
Well, what happened, man? It's 4:44 in the morning. He posted that up and then
fell asleep, collapsed at the keyboard.
Absolutely.
The last thing he did was hit enter and then fell right asleep.
Fell right asleep. Now, the music video, once again, directed by Mr. Sean Crahan, the clown. I'll read from the Wikipedia. The music video switches between footage of the band members and two painted women wandering an abandoned building. I gotta tell you, when people say, man, there's this problem in the United States right now with housing. There's more empty buildings and these people who need to be housed. And why aren't we housing them in those buildings? And the reason why is because they are being used to film Slipknot videos, okay? If you've got an abandoned building, Clown is on your ass to film the band walking around it, okay? And listen, if your family is living in there, it's not going to work for Clown, all right?
Sorry.
They want that Slipknot check. And I know you're thinking, Lauren, what good is one Slipknot check versus months of consistent rent? Listen, I don't know what to tell you. It's a fucked up world.
I don't know what to tell you. We're doing the best we can here.
We're all doing the best we can. Anyway, so they're wandering an abandoned building, them and two painted women. Excellent. Besides being shown playing together, each band member is also shown in their own scene, either playing their instrument in an empty room or wandering the abandoned building. The two women are shown mirroring each other's movements and appear in the scenes of some of the band members. The two women are Shauna and Shannon Baker, known as the Baker Twins. This is the final Slipknot music video to feature percussionist Chris Fine before his departure from the band in 2019. As of August 2024, this music video has 130 million views on YouTube.
Wow.
Now, what is crucial in, like I said, all the band members performing in their own places. Clown appears to be performing, I believe, outside in an empty lot. And when he lines up to hit that barrel, this shot is so great. I want to freeze frame it and then frame it in a picture frame in my house. It looks so good. But of course, even if he's Clown, he's still going to give himself some glamour shots. It's great.
He has to.
He's got it. Wonderful stuff every time it shows up. And it's quick because, once he hits it, then he's not hitting it.
Pretty much it.
Linger. Yeah, you got to cut to something else. But really great fit. Song, okay. So it goes. All right. Up next, we have Skeptic.
All right. I mean, if we don't know who this is about, then I don't know if you know what this record is about.
Right, exactly. Yeah, this was one of the more blatant tributes. I wrote in my notes, I love the squeal. It sounds like Trouble once it gets going. I mean, yeah, great back clangs once again. I'm a broken record when it comes to this, but incredible work there.
He's just a man who loves a clang.
I love a clang. I love a clang, especially if it's delivered by a clown. And the chorus here, the world will never see another crazy motherfucker like you. The world will never know another man as amazing as you. That is, I feel, the ultimate Slipknot tribute. This was another lyric that was cited in a few reviews as being quote unquote clumsy, but once again, through my listens, I was like, listen, we want men to be in touch with their feelings. This is a man putting it all out there, and it's not going to be as eloquent as you hope. This is from the heart. This is like feeling it, like grabbing your guy. You're the craziest motherfucker. You're amazing. You're amazing. I felt this a lot. It is funny that it's called Skeptic. It feels like that feels more of a, I don't know, like we don't know him, you know, so there's a whole other layer to it in regards to that. But yeah, but this was also when it really kind of, the album kind of kicked up a little bit more for me when this one came on every time. Songmeanings.com, Brennan No 1013, on November 8th, 2014. I believe this is 6:00 in the evening. Cheesy hook and totally against Slipknot's usual lyrical style. Reminds me of The Nameless, though, with the quick, accurate call and response vocals between vocalists, though not as well done. I understand it's a tribute song, but not Slipknot at their best. Not by far. Wow.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow.
Now, Corey Taylor said, this is definitely about Paul, absolutely. And it's a song about the kind of person that Paul was, just his love for not only music in general, but for this band, and just how amazing a personality he was. And the name Skeptic refers to the fact that when everything was down and out, when everyone would be in the dumps and negative, or just feeling like nothing could get done, he would be the guy who was completely skeptical of all the odds against us. He'd just be like, screw that. We're going to do this, and we're going to do it amazingly. He was the beating heart of it, and this song is a celebration of who he was. Listen, that, in my opinion, is beautiful. I have not mentioned the genre tags for this album, Matt.
You should.
The first is alternative metal, which I kind of figured was going to be here. But the second, returning, new metal. New metal tag is here.
Interesting.
Of the two tags. But the thing is like I said, this record has a lot of scratching on it. A lot of scratching. And I think there are some moments that are coming up that will cement this feeling. But we're not quite there yet, because as we talked about, this album is the longest Slipknot album.
Yeah, I feel like we're at a brisk pace, but we need to pick up the pace.
Matt, we can only pick up the pace so much. And we're going to do that now with Lech.
Little pings coming out.
Got the pings coming out. This one really did strike me, and it made me think back on a lot of the other songs we've ever heard, though, that it's I'm getting, it's like, it's okay. Firmly, we're halfway through the record, firmly in Slipknot land. We have the energy, we have the chops, the band has it there, but we don't have as many hooks anymore.
No.
We don't have the hooks. It's like a lot of other things going on, hooks, not really a concern. And I don't know if they would be like, yeah, we weren't concerned about hooks, or we didn't have, it's not like they don't have hooks and they don't have songs that are going to come around later that have hooks, but it's like a lot of this doesn't really
just feels like cleansing. It feels like just we got to get this song out.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But if they were with Ross during this period of time, I don't even know if this record comes out. And I don't know if Ross Robin's alive at the end of it. Like, they might kill him.
Yeah. But that also might be just a conversation of just, we can't have Ross in here because then we would never survive. So, which side update, I thought for sure after the amazing picture from 24 of Ross meeting with Slipknot on their tour, that we were going to get something new, some word or whatever. But then Jim Root gave an interview. He's like, don't expect anything for a while. I got nothing left. I got nothing to give right now. So who knows? It was surprising to read that. He's like, I have nothing in the tank.
I've literally no ideas at all.
I'm idealist. I got nothing. Listen, it's just a little bird flying around in there. I got nothing.
That cage, empty as shit.
Empty. All right. We got some feathers flying around. Songmeanings.com has a great comment, Matt. It's from Sinrise. See what they did
just
there.
Do another half an hour of Jim Root explains his lack of ideas. Oh man, it's barren up there. It's just empty.
Listen, I don't even got tumbleweeds anymore, all right? Tumbleweeds are gone, all right?
You know how a tree usually has leaves and fruit? I don't have leaves. I don't have fruit.
You know how sometimes you think, oh man, this well's got to have a little bit of water left, right?
There ain't no water in this well.
As well as run dry.
By the way, Jim Root sounds nothing like this.
This isn't what Drummer sounds like at all. I don't know what this voice is that we're doing right now.
He's just a fucking guy that you see in an old-timey Western bar.
He's sitting in the back. He's tipping back some shots.
Just a grizzled miner.
Yeah. You might be also, this would also work. Are we doing, what's his name? Are we doing the guy from Jaws? Are we doing him?
Oh, sure. Yeah, Quint.
Yeah. A lot of options here. So yeah, this comment on song meanings though, Matt, it's from Sinrise. You see what they did there. Well done. They posted this on November 20th, 2014 at 1:12 in the morning.
Oh, you know, they never went to sleep.
Oh,
they've been up.
The night's just begun for them as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I don't get why these lyrics are wrong. I submitted changes and they have yet to be implemented. This was posted in a room with one light bulb dangling from the ceiling, baby. And that bulb is on its last legs, all right? I'm talking the yellowest of light. The yellowest. This room looks like piss, okay? I'm just saying. When I see that, especially from Sinrise, absolutely. Corey Taylor said about this song, Lech is one of the other tunes talking about that guilt in your gut and just taking a look at yourself and basically beating yourself up for having these very human feelings. In the grief process, you can get angry at yourself, and you can also get angry at the person that you lost, the person that you love so much. And when you lose them, you get really angry, whether it's about their choices or the fact that you couldn't help them. And there's a certain amount of survivor's guilt that comes with that. Why is he gone and not me? It's an amalgam of just outrageous, just insane grief that really drives you into a bunch of different crazy positions. And Lech is about that. And Lech refers to the word lecherous. It makes you feel like you're a bad person and you have to fight your way through that. And it's a long process. But once you come out the other side of it, you feel a lot better for it. Once again, Matt, I think you were dead on. It's a cleansing.
Yep.
And listen, anyone who's done a cleansing knows there's no hooks there.
No.
There's
no, because if you have hooks, you just go shit them out.
That's right. You just shit the hooks out.
I got nothing left. Got nothing left.
Got nothing left. All right, Matt. It's goodbye.
I do not like that 3/4 of these songs feel like I haven't pressed play on them.
Longest Slipknot album ever.
Yeah, they certainly are creating an atmosphere, making a mood, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, John Carpenter film, Gurneys. I mean, it all tracks.
Listen, when you've got the longest Slipknot album of your career, you're definitely going to throw a little Slow Boy in the middle there just to give everybody a moment. Like you said, there haven't been any moments necessarily in a lot of these songs to breathe, but they'll give you a whole song to breathe.
Yeah.
So.
No notes. Literally, what am I going to say about this song that matters at all? This is a cleansing, a purging, grief is fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Losing people in your life it's part of the human experience, and it's probably one of the hardest parts of the human experience. It's fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And this, and to have it be in your art, your creative output, and now all of a sudden you've made the decision with everybody else in the band that we've got to keep going and kind of in memory and memorial of them. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's a fucking bummer, dude.
It's tough. Yeah, now this one eventually at 2:45 does have a big lift. It turns into sort of a bit of I described it in my notes as a brooding, rocking elegy. And I ultimately think it really works. I think it's one of the stronger ones on the album. Just that the slow burn does pay off, and the way that XIX or XX, if you want to say it the way Corey does, it does pay off in a more satisfying way. And I ultimately enjoyed it. Corey had this to say when speaking with Kerrang! Magazine. Goodbye is actually a song that refers to the day that we lost Paul, and the mood or the scene is basically set where the whole band was sitting in my house and we were all so numb and so destroyed that we were just looking at each other going, fuck, what now? What just happened? The closest thing that I can even compare it to is if you were standing next to a bomb and it goes off and you're not physically hurt, but there's such a bombastic repercussion that happens with that you're just thrown for a loop. And that's what that song is. It's a piece of getting back together and hoping that we can all stand as one and try to find some hope in one of the darkest days of this band's career. Okay, there we go. I will say sometimes people, if you have one topic and you're writing so many songs about it and it can start to feel broken recordy, I don't really think we're there. I feel like we're coming at this from different angles, which may also be part of the benefit of taking so long to make the record. It's not like you just made it like, they made it in 2011 or something. It's no, we took a long time to actually get to the point. So we had a lot more processing. He had been, at this point, he had been dead for 4 years when they made this record. So, they've had time to really, really process it, which I would say probably to their personal benefit more than anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you can even, when you lose somebody and they're close, like there's just a fog for a year more. I mean, everybody grieves different, right? Like some people push it all down and then they see an M&M commercial and they start crying and you're like, why the fuck are you crying at this M&M commercial? And then it all comes out because they're ready to deal with it in that moment. It's grief is weird, but 4 years is a lot of time and it's not, and the band, it really wasn't focused on self-care,
right? Yeah.
But to your point earlier, it's like they thought they hit rock bottom on Iowa, and it's no. There's a long way down.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a long way down.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, as a song, it is doing exactly what it needs to do because there's this funny duality with Slipknot, obviously, is that they're going through it, but they also have fans. Like fans put a lot of emotional weight into the band. And so this is a thing for them too, to get through it, which is, you don't really think about that because he was my friend. There's this moment in this documentary where Pete Townsend at the end, he's just, fuck all of you. They were my friends. You're all looking for all these answers and everything like that, but he was my friend. And it's, it just hits better. It hits different because it's like, they're really putting it out there, which can help a fan heal, but it is solely their work.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's hard, man. It's fucking hard.
It is. I want to thank everybody. 9 years of the Coach, and we decided, let's do
this bummer ass record.
Funniest step ever. All right. Listen, there's only...
Oh, don't worry. Fart Monster's coming back.
Listen, there's a song coming up that Matt's going to do an incredible funky can. It's going to be amazing. All right. Up next, we have Nomadic.
That's a bread and butter Slipknot song. That is like...
this is hitting all the moments.
Classic Slipknot.
Classic Knot. Incredible clang. Have I talked about the work of Clown on this album and his hitting of the barrel? It's real good. It's real good on this song. Once again, if you were a barrel in 2014, you were having a bad time, but our ears were having a great time. All right. Love the barrel work on this song. I was all about the smooth chorus in this one. There's a noodly guitar solo at 2:35. I also wrote, we're riffing? We're riffing? And also we got some squeal in there. Give me the squeal. I feel like Slipknot should not be afraid to give me more squeals and give me more sirens. Honestly, I feel like sirens, if Slipknot decided to do more sirens, I don't think anyone would be mad. Now, I could see somebody saying, Lauren, what makes something like Surfacing so special is because you don't get the siren all the time. Sure, right. Let's test it out. Why not? Slipknot, make a whole record where there's a siren on every song. Let me get sick of it. Let me get sick of it before we decide we're sick of it. You know what I'm saying?
Give me a chance.
Let me try it. This is a situation where it's like, listen, could I have breakfast for dinner for a month? Seems like it'd probably be a bad idea. I'd probably get sick a weekend, but we don't know until we try. Siren in every song. Just saying. Something to think about. Listen, Slipknot's secure. They can get
It
away
looks
with
like we already have the name of the album. Siren in every song.
Siren in every song. I think that's it. Listen, I don't know shit about shit, but I will gladly produce that album in which I will sit there and go, all right, guys. First, they're going to have to tell me which button I push to have my voice come through into the studio. And then I'm just going to tap it and go, all right, I loved everything I heard, but let's do just a little bit more Siren. And they're going to be, they're going to be grumbling. They'll be like, this fucking guy just keeps talking about fucking sirens all the time. Where'd we find this guy? Doesn't seem to know shit about shit. And then Sid Wilson's going to be like, I'm feeling great about it, guys.
So they write a song. It's called SIES. And then Corey Taylor comes out and he says, well, it also S represents half in Roman numerals. So not only is it about the siren, but how the siren is in a half of every song. And then, or you could just call it SES, and then you pronounce the ES as S as well. And you don't pronounce the I. Or no, is it my nose bleeding? Or is it your?
Listen, guys, Matt, having read all of his quotes from the Kerrang interview, Corey Taylor's never had a nosebleed in his life.
His life, just that pork pie hat is tight
on there. All right. He said about Nomadic, Nomadic is the other side of goodbye. That's when the anger starts up. And it's almost if goodbye is slowly getting to your feet, Nomadic is the sprint that happens once you do get to your feet. And there's almost a misogynistic kind of vibe to it where it's like men shouldn't cry or are afraid to show their true feelings. And this is the gnarly, aggressive repercussions of trying to hold it in and standing out and trying to put on a sense of bravado when inside you're really just sinking fast in the quicksand. I read something like that and I was just like, wow, Corey Taylor gone woke. Good for him. Good for him.
Hey, come on.
Good for him. No, it's good. I like it. All right, Matt. Up next, we have the one that kills the least.
I don't wanna give it away.
Siren in every song.
Siren in every song. Give me a siren in every song. I love it. This has got a good pummel. I wrote in my notes, they're doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
They're doing the damn thing. This is one, though, where it's, second half of this record, definitely feeling it more than the first half.
Agreed.
Yeah. Let's go to Kerrang! Magazine, Matt, and see what Corey Taylor had to say about this one. That song is a moment of melancholy where you're looking at the problems in your life and you're trying to put everything in perspective, and you realize that the decisions you make can come back to haunt you because of something like, in our case, losing Paul. The choices that you make are really starting to affect everything around you. And it comes down to the point where the one that kills the least still kills us all, where every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So it's really about dealing with the negative side effects of your choices in the grief process. Once again, these guys are doing the work. So, yeah, strong song. Enjoyed it. But let's not waste any more time, baby.
Let's do it,
because it's time for Custer.
I have this one.
I mean, every concert from here on in, we're playing this one.
Unfucking believable. I remember the first time I heard this song, and it's an all-timer. I mean, I've obviously heard all the Slipknot records after this one, but I think this is the last truly great Slipknot song to date. This is truly amazing. I wrote in my notes: Sirens, Stomp, A Crusher, Scratches. This song, New Metal AF. We got the creepy vocals. He says, "Don't waste my fucking time." The chorus of the song is cut me up, and fuck me up. This is what you want. This is what you want. Now, one could argue, Lauren, this is buried deep in the album. Why is it so deep? But here's the thing. You cannot put this song this early. It puts everything off balance to put something this early, especially on an album about what it's about. But also,
Yep.
I mean, you probably could have put it center, but either way, at least it's here. It's incredible. Hasn't aged a day. It's unbelievable. It's amazing. Matt, how'd you feel about Custer?
Yeah, it's flawless. I love it. I really think it's great. I've seen videos of this played live. It gets the crowd moving, and I mean, what an anthem! Cut me up, and fuck me up.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking for?
What are you
Because,
looking for?
I think I just heard another national anthem.
That's right.
I'm thinking I'm listening to this song, and it's just, well, Ray, unfurl the flag. We're home.
Right. I mean, listen, Slipknot just keep writing new national anthems apparently all the time. Unbelievable. Some of them have anthem in the name, some don't. Amazing. Songmeanings.com, Aaron Bennion 99 on May 8th, 2015 at 5 in the evening said, Corey said during a Facebook Q&A, it's on YouTube, that this is about the haters to Slipknot, how they wouldn't have been able to make another album. Interesting. So then I went over to Kerrang! Magazine, and this is what Corey Taylor had to say. Again, this is focusing that anger towards the outside world. The people who on one hand want to make us martyrs, but at the same time want to make us bastards. And metaphorically, it's about charging into our last stand, and it's basically saying, you know what? Just when you think you've written our history, we're going to rewrite it again. And basically show you that we can take all the abuse that you put out there, and we're not going to lose a step. We're not going to lose an inch. We're not going to lose any ground. We're going to keep coming. It's all there. Once again, no music video for this. If they did make one, it would have to be Corey Taylor and company going down the hill, grabbing all the haters, breaking their backs. Backbreaker, backbreaker.
Bane style.
Oh, Bane style. Absolutely. This is all, yeah. Mm-hmm. You play
all
in
Bane.
the dark.
All
You
Bane.
play in the dark. I was born here. Yeah, just do it. Just do it. I love this song a lot, and yeah, it's incredible. It's an all-timer. And you would think after that, it's like, how many more songs should there be? A bunch.
20.
We have 20 more songs. This song is called Be Prepared for Hell.
Every single song, 5 seconds of just dead fucking silence at the beginning.
They're going through it, Matt. Give them a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Mostly. Yeah. This is the one, clown on vocals. And honestly, here's the thing. Coming off of Custer, you got to give everybody a minute.
Little palate cleanser.
You got it. Listen, they have just, cut me up, fuck me up. You need a moment, okay?
Yeah.
You need a second. You've been cut up and fucked up, all right? Corey said, speaking with Kerrang! Magazine, this is hard because it's a song that Clown wrote, not only musically but lyrically, and that's him singing it. What I get from it is the expectations that come in your mind when you're dealt with such a heavy blow like losing Paul. The lyrics go, be prepared for hell, and I say, oh well, just tell me when I can open my eyes and realize I've died. So you may look like you're together, but you're not. On the inside, you're really starting to deteriorate, so it's the perfect setup for what is the next song. So once again, we're doing this continuation situation. All right, so up next, we've got the negative one.
Yeah, that's in the pocket. Not what are we talking about?
Yes, absolutely. I wrote in my notes, give me that riff, give me that. Yes, basically just the
Give me that.
Give me that. The gift from I Think You Should Leave. Just give me that riff. Just give me that riff. Just give it to me. Incredible squeals. Of course, we've got a siren going on along with scratching. This one, once again, I was like, I love all these, the new metal tucked into the back half. Really appreciated it. Went back and looked. This was actually the first single. This was the first taste anybody got, was this song. And what a taste to get. This really is Boys Are Back. Like this is one hell of a Boys Are Back kind of single, if I'll say so myself. So yeah, it's funny that they put it basically at the tail end of the record, but yeah, I enjoy this one quite a bit. This one really goes for it. Matt, how'd you feel about the negative one?
Yeah, it perfect. right in the pocket. Seems to be like a complete song.
Mhm.
Yeah, awesome.
Over at Kerrang! Magazine, Corey Taylor said, "This is the third song that really deals with the inner turmoil. And I know there's a misconception out there that it's about Joey, and it's just not. And I know people are very adamant in their opinion about it, and it's just not. It's about trying to make sense of the whole ordeal. And the thing that I realized while writing these lyrics was that Paul's death made me see what I was taking for granted and that I was spending a lot of energy on selfish needs. I had the choice between the negative me or who I wanted to be. And I guess if one good thing came from a tragedy like this, it's that I was able to put everything in perspective and realize that I took this band and this life for granted." Now, I can't confirm songmeanings.com is nothing but comments saying that the song is about Joey. You heard it from Corey. He says it's not. He says it's not. But unfortunately, since it was such a tumultuous exit and Joey was such an integral part of the band, people are just going to keep saying that. This band's going to put an album out in 4 years or whatever, and people are going to be like, I feel like half these songs are about Joey. Just a feeling I've got.
This is the way it's gonna go.
I got no proof. It's just a vibe I'm feeling. All right, gotta go. And then they jump into the sewer. Gotta go. There's a music video for this song. And first, I want to read you how it's described on wikipedia.com, a family site. Directed, of course, by Sean Crahan. The music video features two women performing various acts, along with props, paying homage to some of Slipknot's earlier work. It does not feature any of the band members. This was the video's first NSFW video on YouTube and must have an account with 18 plus years of age to watch. The video was whitelisted when first released, but now the link is public. However, age verification is still required. Listen,
Please let me see a titty.
Guys.
Please let me see some titties.
Guys.
I want to see a titty. Oh God, my life. I want to see a titty.
well, if you watch the video, Matt, you'll get it because you got two hotties and they are smearing paint on them boobies. They are rolling around. They are being naked to Slipknot.
Big whoop.
Big whoop. Yeah, I know. I watched it. I didn't even watch the whole video. I was like, all right, I got it. I mean,
whatever.
Honestly, here's the thing. Once I read on the Wikipedia that the band wasn't in it, I was like, well, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the masks. Listen, I can see boobs anywhere. Slipknot masks, you can only see in 9 places on their 9 heads, okay?
They're dumb fucking noggins.
On their fucking heads, all right?
Are the hotties wearing Slipknot masks?
They're not. They just got normal faces.
What a
They're
waste of
pretty,
time.
Who cares? Honestly, that is the thing. I was like watching. I was like, I know the feeling. We got some hotties to take their clothes off and smear paint all over their bodies for this video. But I'm like, I'm here for the masks. For the masks not done yet? Take a week. I'm okay. Where's the barrel? I would tell you. You know what I pop for? Fucking clown with a barrel. I'm there. Get them numbers up. But so it goes. Yeah, youtube.com though, if you want to, I guess, see that. So we're at the tail end now of the standard version.
Okay.
And so that song is If Rain Is What You Want.
Again.
Matt, you can't even say anything.
All right.
It's a slow brooding outro. It's 5 minutes long.
I'm sure it does something. I don't know, man.
Matt is just listen. It's a long record, and
almost 1 in the morning.
It's almost 1 in the morning to record this. We've been doing the show for 9 years. We're gonna cut.
Sometimes I'm just gonna fucking turn it down, guys.
Fine. Yeah, this one you can hear them. If you hear through the song, you hear them integrating the sounds of everyone in the band, so everyone gets a moment. And I mean, honestly, like just the song title alone, you know what you're getting into here. Kerrang! Magazine talked to Corey Taylor about this song. I don't know if you know that, Matt. And
I heard about this, yeah.
Yeah, and he said, "This is the melancholy look at how people wanted us to deal with Paul's death. And listening to that song, I see us on a stage, just in silence, and millions of people looking at us with ideas of how we should grieve already set in their minds. And maybe that's completely opposite with how we were trying to deal with it. And lyrically, it's us saying, look, we're the only ones that really understand what we're going through. You can expect us to break down and cry, but at some point, we have to stand back up." That's fair. Absolutely.
Seems healthy.
That seems healthy. You got to look out for number 1 and 2.
Your
and
dong.
3
Your
and
balls.
4
Your
and
legs.
5 and 6.
Your
I was just
feet.
naming the members of the band. I didn't know, Matt. I didn't know you numbered your limbs and appendages, Matt. Wow.
Gotta look out for number 1. That's your dong.
Okay.
2 and 3, your balls.
Number 1's your dong. You nail. I love it. You eyes on the prize over there.
0's your brain.
Oh,
9 years of a moron.
unbelievable.
9 years of the worst takes you've ever heard in your
Oh,
life.
Matt, so great. So if you have the normal version, if you have the standard version, that's the album. But we have the deluxe edition here, Matt. I know you've got a question for me.
I do want to know, is this an hour and 14 minutes long for these 16 songs?
Matt, this album clocks in at 73 minutes and 40 seconds.
Oh, 73 minutes. So it's just an hour and 13 minutes.
Yeah, you were close.
Woo!
Close. So if you've got the special digipack, or if you are on any streaming service, which apparently only has the deluxe version of this album, you will get the following 2 songs. The first one is called Override.
Yeah, this is a bonus song for sure. 100%
Ooh.
bonus song.
Interesting. I see. I like this more than Killpop and a lot of the stuff in the early part. I thought this one, of course, there's some really good bat work on it, so maybe I'm swayed by the bat work. But
You are wooed by a bat.
I am wooed by a bat hitting a barrel, and so I like this one. I thought it kind of ripped. I think it should have been on the main album. I mean, basically, it is now that it's only
Yeah, now this is how the album would be remembered right
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. Yeah. The digital streaming rewriting history. Yeah. But okay. Well, Corey Taylor said this about the song when speaking with, let me double check this, Kerrang! Magazine. He said, Override is another song about maybe some of the bands that have come in the wake of this band's absence and how certain groups have taken music in perhaps a more negative direction. And I don't mean lyrically or just from an outside thing. Just
they suck.
Just the way the music is treated, much more like a commodity than creativity. And this is us basically saying that, okay, your time is done. We're not going to allow you to turn music into car insurance or hamburgers and shit like that. Corey Taylor is coming for those sellouts and posers.
You fucking poser. Corey's calling you out.
He's calling you out, and he's so serious about it that it's a bonus track.
Yeah. I was really enjoying this song until I heard the chorus of We Are the Override, and I was like, yeah, my brain just walked out. Like, it left the room. No, thank you.
I saw your brain put on a big floppy hat and just walked right out the door. It was wild.
Grabbed its little brain suitcase.
His brain suitcase. What does it keep in the brain suitcase? Hey, don't worry about
it. Where'd it get an umbrella from?
Yeah.
All right. Well, see you later, buddy.
Walked right out. So I do like that. Listen, I love any time a band is going after the posers and the haters and the sellouts, but it does feel a slightly less conviction in it when you leave it as a bonus track. Just saying. But also, you have to leave it as a bonus track because it would feel weird on an album that is otherwise in mourning of your friend. So
right, and that's why I'm just like, this is absolutely the bonus track for this record cycle,
for sure. All right, the last one here, The Burden.
Yeah, that's a bonus track.
That's a bonus track. Well, it's also this one feels like at this point, with everything we've gone through, to call it The Burden. Okay, this one feels really on the nose.
This one feels like a burden because I'm done.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so late in it. You could have just called it a day. Speaking with let me get this right, Kerrang! With an exclamation point. Have I been saying it wrong the whole time? Should I be saying Kerrang! The whole time?
Kerrang!
Oh boy, what a mea culpa on that then. Roachcoach.com. Let me know. Roachcoachpodcast@gmail.com.
/mispronunciations.
Yes. Corey said the burden is really about the weight, carrying the weight of something as horrendous as losing.
Is that what a burden is?
Maybe.
Fuck me. I had it all wrong my whole life.
Oh no! Losing a band member, losing family, losing a person who for 15 years has been on this road with you, and carrying that and realizing that not only are they not going to be on the rest of the road with you physically, but realizing that there are going to be nights where you struggle with it. There are going to be nights where you sit bolt upright in bed and think to yourself, fuck, what could I have done? And people can accept it as much as they want, but it's just the reality of it. I feel that 100%. I also feel like maybe we've already covered this. And yeah. So there you go. If anything, there is no doubt about how Slipknot felt at the loss of their bandmate. There is no question. We have a complete document on all that, and that is the record. 0.5 Grade Chapter by
Yay!
Slipknot. And now here we are, 9 years in, where I get to say to you, Matt, it's the part of the show where we talk about
Canon talk.
we're talking about the canon. Matt, let's start with you.
Whew. This is a super tough one. I'm not gonna lie. I know that every Slipknot record up until this point has made the canon complete.
No, not complete. We have not.
Not complete?
I don't believe we put much of anything of All Hope Is Gone in.
Oh,
So,
thank goodness.
Yeah.
I thought we had
No.
like full cover to
No.
cover to all of them.
No.
Well, thank goodness. That makes this a lot easier. Custer. That's it. I don't think the rest of the album is exemplary Slipknot music. I think it's good to great Slipknot music, but what we already have in the canon overshadows it so immensely that
Mhm.
there isn't anything in this record that makes me go, hey, except for Custer. I think Custer is a standout, a singular track inside of an album that is absolutely the one for them.
Mhm.
You know, if there's a one for them in your career, this is the one for them, and for the best reasons, the worst best reasons in the world. You know, like
Mhm. Right.
they lost a friend, and this is the album after that in dealing with it. But from a new metal standpoint, hard. I mean, it's just, yeah, there's tons of scratching, and they definitely isolated the clangs, but you know, I don't listen to Portishead with the scratching and go, that's rap. So like I don't listen to this and think that's new metal. I think there's a lot more straight ahead alternative metal, and really honestly metal, just like fucking metal in this album, especially with how Corey's approaching his vocals.
Mhm.
I don't know if I would ever return to this record except for Custard. So that's what Custer, not Custard. I would always come back for Custard.
You're always back for Custard.
This big bone baby? Yeah, always coming back for Custard. But for Custer as well, I think it's an instant classic Slipknot anthem. So that's my take. I'm interested to see where your head's at.
Well, Slipknot is doing a lot here. They're both attempting a return to form, a natural evolution, a eulogy, and a celebration of life.
Ooh.
I know, right? It's never bad, but it's very effortful. It has so many songs because they really had to prove themselves. It almost feels if this record had been made sooner, it probably would have had half as many songs. But because they had so much time, they just felt they had so many more angles to go for it. Custer is an insta classic, definitely new metal AF, definitely goes in the canon. The negative one is also extremely strong, and I say this is probably their last truly like new metal adjacent record, but nothing else for the canon. R.I.P. Paul, R.I.P. Joey.
R.I.P. Joey, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
obviously we've lost him past this record, so we
Yeah.
didn't really mention that. But like,
Yeah.
fucking those records that this unit is whole
Mhm.
are all timers, just
Right.
fucking classics.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. But yeah, I'd say I think we both agree Custer, without
yeah,
a doubt,
big time.
fantastic, all timer. Yeah, put it in there. My suggestion still stands. If they need me in there to hit the little button and go more sirens, I'm available.
Yep.
But there you have it. Custer in the new metal canon, where it should be, and also in my personal canon. There you go. It should be in all the canons, 100%. And there you have it. Another episode of Roach Coach. 9 years, baby.
9 years.
9 years. And so that means it's 9 years of me saying that you can say hello to us online. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky. We're on all those. Send us an email, roachcoachpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know about all of my mispronunciations. Love to hear about it. And of course, head over to the Patreon, patreon.com/roachcoachpodcast. Become a patron. The crack is coming, and it's going to be worth it. And until next time, Matt, thank you.
Lauren, Thank you.